Alright, here we go. Trying to get rich and famous and super high along the way. How's everybody doing today?
I'll tell you one fucking crazy thing I already seen this morning. No idea if it's verified or not, but this V-Bombs World posted it. Bitch had plastic surgery trying to look like Angelina Jolie.
What?
I just seen this shit on the shitter this morning.
Oh my god, people are gonna start trying to clone a fucking celebrity's face for their own? Oh
she
my
don't
god.
look like Angelina Jolie, she looks fucked.
Well, yeah. So, Angelina only looks good on certain days.
Yeah. She's got looking super puffy lips.
Yeah, I can't stand that stuff. I mean, I see girls with thin lips, and I could see how they would maybe want to
do a little something to it.
Put a little something in there, but yeah, you start looking like a blowfish.
It ain't right.
Hootie and the blowfish. Thank you. Angelina Jolie was never hotter than in Tomb Raider.
Well, she was half naked.
Yeah, she was just at her prime, I think, too. Then, and there's something about that role that it was good for her.
It was before everybody realized how fucking crazy she was, too.
Oh, she's certified nut job. Alright, so my boy Andy and I, we haven't come up with fancy radio names yet, but my name's Bobby Hatfield, and we're bored and we like to smoke weed, so we figured that we would just record the shit that we talk about in the morning and put it over a beat you might like and see if you guys find it entertaining. Pretty simple approach. So we're going to find a way for you guys to call in to us or get us your questions, probably at least via email for the time being. And we don't really have a schedule necessarily, or even a place for that matter, of where we're going to be airing this, but I'm guessing we'll have a .com set up here in the next couple weeks, so you'll have a home. You can post pictures, comments, and always be able to find the latest episodes. We don't even have a name yet. That's how early in this process is. You guys are hearing the first few smoke-filled breaths.
You're just joining in on us with what we do every day anyways.
Right. You're a fly on the wall. A high-ass fly on the wall. So let me just give Colorado some straight-up and down fucking props for giving me a $100 ounce of some serious fucking weed yesterday. For fuck's sake, are you serious? $100 for an ounce of some weed? Get the hell out of here. And it's called Chem 91. It's THC of about 18 to 19 and the CBD of about a half to 1.2.
Shout out to Patient's Choice on Broadway.
Yeah, Patient's Choice.
Hooking it up.
Man, Live Green Cannabis. Yeah, and then I got fucking gram with some incredible wax for $20. Shut the hell up. What the hell's going on out here? Running out of reasons to not get high. It used to be you couldn't afford it. And now they're pretty much paying you to take it home with you, so get on out here. Plus I had a $49 flight to come out here to Minneapolis. Colorado is becoming very hospitable. And I heard it barely even snowed here last year, so get your asses out here.
On the fucking same pace this year. Fuck, what was it? 65 degrees yesterday? On the last day of fucking November?
Yeah, we were out playing frisbee golf on the last day of November in fucking Denver.
You cannot beat that.
So we just grow a beard, buy a tent, and we'll see you in Colorado. Alright, so we're gonna probably just talk about some Facebook shit or some sports today. Let's pull up a little something to talk about. Alright. So this stuff's a little easier fodder, and especially if you guys want to get on Facebook, and although the way the timing of this is going to work is you won't hear this particular episode until a little further down the road, but eventually you'll be able to, pretty much any episode you listen to, you'll be able to go back or you probably will have remembered the last couple of days or are still talking about these stories on Facebook. So hopefully they're not too outdated by the time they get back to your ears. But yeah, everybody's talking about Bitcoin right now. And I had a few people talk about Bitcoin to me a few years back, and I didn't exactly doubt it, but I didn't trust it, if that makes any sense. Like, I kind of figured that digital form of currency was maybe inevitable, but I also think a collapse of that system is also inevitable because there is no actual
backing it.
There's no backing for it. But it's also untraceable, and being that it's untraceable is a whole different level of accountability and where the money can go. And when it's, I mean, some hacker just tells you it's gone, it's fucking gone. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? Shit's fucking gone. You go log in, shit says 0. It's different than having a bank where you can go down there and wring somebody's fucking neck if your account ain't looking right. You know, so I'm old school. I like cash in my pocket. I don't even really like credit cards that much. So Bitcoin's gonna be hard for me to get my brain around. But so this guy Joseph Stiglitz is a economics professor at I got full hands because I got a joint in one hand and I'm rolling a blunt in the other. But I'll open up the story in a second. And he's a professor at one of these big colleges, and he's saying that Bitcoin should be outlawed.
Really?
Let's see why. Let's click that and see why.
I just heard fighter Roy McDonald was just on the MMA show talking about that the other day. He said he's a big fan of it. He's been in it for a while, and right now apparently it's one of the highest it's ever been.
Well, it just jumped like 12% yesterday again or some shit. But I mean, you used to be able to get the things for like $1,000 a piece, and now they're like 12,000. I forget what it even is. I'm probably speaking out of my ass on it.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, all it takes is one day of bad publicity for something like that, and you'll lose half of what you thought you had. And for the people who invested in it early, you'll probably never get down to the point where you lost your money. You just might have some ups and downs where you maybe made less than you think you made temporarily, and then it might recover. It might go up and down like most businesses do. But I think for the people who are getting in it right now, when the shit's expensive and thinking it's gonna just keep on flourishing like
yeah, you're high risk right now.
Yeah, fuck, it's due for a regression period.
I don't know enough about it to really speak too intelligently, but everything else is fucking turning into digital. Why wouldn't our money turn into digital too?
Well,
it seems like it.
I mean, no offense, but I'm not sure that that's a sound logic. I think that there's certain things that just don't convert, and assets, like the whole idea of having a value to something is that it can't just go away.
Well, what about
overnight,
this? I heard another thing they're doing now is they're allowing people to reback their finances with gold, actual gold. You put into a bank account,
yeah,
and then you do transactions over your phone, and it actually, what you spend correlates to what you actually have in your account backed by gold. That would be the smarter way for everything to go.
I would have to know more about it, but that sounds like a much more reliable, safe system.
Yeah.
Fuck, I mean, what if you all of a sudden just can't get onto your computer one day?
Yeah.
I mean, then you just don't have... And think of all these movies, and it's more and more real. Man, it's a fat blunt I'm rolling. I can barely get this fucking thing closed. I haven't split a Swisher in a long time. They're not as long as those other ones I'm using. But yeah, I mean, you just wake up and somebody took all your shit. I mean, that kind of happens in identity theft right now. But you at least have the bank in between you as somebody who's there to protect you, you know.
A bit of a buffer.
Yeah, and they're good at it. They've been doing it for years and years. And now all of a sudden you're going to turn a huge amount of your money over to who? Right. Who is fucking Bitcoin? Who do you go talk to? Who do you ask questions to? Do they even have a fucking phone number? I doubt that there's even a person you can talk to on there.
What exactly is changing the rate of value per Bitcoin every single day? I don't even fucking know how the fuck that works, but I know it, like compared to the stock markets, it has insane jumps up and down, day to day, week to week, like that you don't see anywhere else.
I need to look it up more too. Though I'm just going off the top of my head right now, and as some of you guys know, my memory.
Somebody will email us and tell us how dumb we are.
But I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin had in the last month or two made some strides as far as being considered a legitimate form of currency in certain countries, instead of it just being something that was happening.
Yeah.
Because it was started on the dark web. It was
people buying drugs and assassins and shit.
Cryptocurrency is, and there's competitors for it too, and that's the other thing. It's not like Bitcoin's the only people doing this, but they are the pioneer for it. So who knows? Who knows? God, it just seems like one of those things that we're just rushing into, making ourselves really fucking vulnerable over, and I don't even really see the benefit in it. People investing in it, I see the benefit in it, but I don't see the benefit in converting to it, for me as a consumer or somebody with money, because I can already do everything I need to do as a consumer with the way the shit's set up now. So what am I upgrading to? Unless I want to go buy a fucking bomb or
It's
some
a fucking
shit.
preparation for when they take all of our fucking paper and coins away.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. They're gonna force us onto a system like that, and then
Fucking, I'm just like you. I hate
vulnerable.
using a fucking card for anything. I hate fucking carrying a card. And bitches at the bar, can I get a card to start a tab? Fucking, do you really have to?
You hear me last night? I'm like, no, but I'll pay for all this shit. But I ain't giving you a card. She just laughed and walked away. She did ask for it again, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just pay for it right now.
That was some Bill Burr shit right there. He's always talking about anywhere he goes, they want your fucking thumbprint, they want this, they want that. No!
No.
Fuck you! How about I don't give you all that shit? Oh, you're just gonna use it to make my experience better? Fuck you! No, you're gonna give that shit, you're gonna sell it to people, they're gonna send me 500 fucking emails.
Yep.
That's his whole fucking stick on that shit. And he's fucking right, man. Every time you give your fucking identity out to something that ain't fucking necessary, granted, not the fucking tab at the bar probably, but any other random thing.
Shit, you never know, man.
Yeah.
Anybody who's collecting data is selling the shit nowadays.
That's how motherfuckers get their identity, Jack, too. Giving up their card ID, then they run that shit through a fake scanner, get all your goddamn information.
Yeah.
Who you after?
Your pen, I gotta just push in the end of the blunt here.
I got too many things over here, I don't know what to grab.
Yeah, and I'm trying to use sign language. Trying not to interrupt your story. But no, it's
That's what we gotta get you, man. We gotta get you a lighter, man.
super invasive. Yeah, I need to buy a pack
The
of
most
lighters.
basic of things. We got 500 bags of weed. No goddamn lighter.
That's problems. That's problems.
Fucking white people problems.
Right? Yeah. Too much weed. I don't got anything to smoke it with.
It's like them fucking geese out on the disc golf course, man.
I need a tiny little violin. Cry me a river with that shit.
Boys, we all playing disc golf the other day, and I'm not shitting you. Well, I mean, what do you think on that whole disc golf course? How many geese? 5,000? 10,000? There's fucking packs of 100 of them, and like
Easily 5,000.
all
yeah.
over the fucking place.
Yeah, there's packs of 500 of
We're
them.
walking around, stepping all their shit. Fucking geese just shitting everywhere. They're flying over, shitting on your head. Can't get it gunked out of your shoes. Just fuck these geese, man.
Fuck
These
geese.
geese. Can't you see I'm trying to throw this fucking disc right now? Fuck these geese.
I think we need to make some urban influence
Disc golf
frisbee
gear.
golf gear,
Yeah,
and one
for
of them
sure.
will say "fuck the geese" on it. Fuck you, geese.
Yeah, but the ironic part of that is we're walking around bitching at these thousands of winged fucking meals flying around because they're interrupting our mid-afternoon
Yeah.
on a fucking Wednesday disc golf game. I mean, people would chase that goddamn bird down with a fucking stone and a sling.
We were standing in a meat processing factory and
Right.
throwing frisbees through it.
I'm mad about it. Mad about it.
So grateful. So, to my own credit, I was complaining about getting my blunt closed, but I did. And then I just realized that these little packets are 1.75 grams. I just,
Stuffed all. You thought it was fucking smaller.
all besides just a little tiny bit. You guys can't see it, but I mean, I got 1.65 of them fucking grams in this thing right here.
That's why you were having fucking problems. Talking about, Jesus, this blunt's fatter than I thought.
Shit's going down. Well, we're going up first, but then you get it. So, I know there should be some music playing right now. Well, actually, there will be when we edit this shit, I suppose. But we're just trying to run through a couple of these little episodes with still having the ability to do a little editing for when we fuck up.
Yeah.
Although it's gone fairly smooth so far. Oh, but I forgot what we were even doing here. Let's get back to the computer acted like it wanted to sleep, so I had to wake it up. Let's get back to those Facebook joints. Shout out to my guy Bezel Brilliant. He just texted me on Facebook making sure I had a ride to the airport yesterday. Appreciate that, Bez. Alright, so American Airlines fucked up over the holidays. Apparently they had a glitch in their scheduling where they didn't have enough pilots for all their flights, so people got stranded. That's pretty.
Where'd they get stranded?
Let's see if it's certain cities. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, and around the world. Yeah, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So it must have been a few other places, but yeah, I think one of the other companies just did this a couple months ago, and they caught major backlash for it. Not just from the consumers, but I want to say like the FAA or whoever regulates all the flights, I think they fined him a shit ton of money or something.
Huh.
So I don't know how you go ahead and do that. American Airlines working to fix glitch that left thousands of holiday flights without pilots.
What?
Thousands. Crazy. How in the
That's a lot of displaced people.
I mean, if you even had 50 flights that had that shit going on, I think that'd be terrible business. And you got thousands with an S even. What in the world? Well, this will give me a nice opportunity to shout out my preferred airline. Fly Southwest Airlines. They don't fuck you over. In fact, you get 2 free bags, and they're usually pretty fucking funny. So they started doing the funny cab in the in-cab shit now, where they got like almost little baby stand-up routines.
Oh yeah. I've seen videos of that shit online.
Some of the older ladies on there. There's older guys on there too sometimes, but some of the old school ladies are more traditional, and I bet you they don't really like the way that the young girls come in and getting all Snapchat out of them and shit.
Fucking spandex, yoga pants, doing fancy dances.
No, they still got their normal little
their little outfit on. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean I've seen some of the dudes are pretty damn funny too. I mean some of them I probably out of my last 10 flights, it's only happened like 3 of the time, so it's not like every time, but. And I think one of the times was corny. 2 of the times were funny, I'd say, if I'm remembering correctly. So whatever. It's a new idea, and I'm not objectionable to it. I did see. I swear. I mean, I wasn't on the flight, but I thought I saw something about they're bringing like little mini jam sessions onto planes with like
bands.
Yeah, like,
I've heard about this.
Like 3 people with acoustic guitars and they're singing with no microphones and shit.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool idea. Although that can't be for everybody, but maybe you know that when you book the flight, or it's only to certain cities. I think right when they're flying into Orlando and Vegas and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
I imagine they're gonna let you know ahead of time because it's gonna be a party flight.
Yeah,
like
right.
you said, would depend on where you're going.
Yeah.
Still though, there's a few motherfuckers in there trying to take a nap. Like goddamn.
Yeah. Here's Al Franken.
Oh,
Man,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Another one.
Well, yeah, I'm inclined to support this guy for a couple different reasons now. I mean,
what did they? All right, hold on. What's the worst thing that they're confirming he actually did? Smack the girl's ass or what?
No,
kiss the girl or something?
There's a picture of him before he was in any office, and
back when he was just a comedian, right? SNL days.
Yeah, this is still inappropriate behavior, and he's admitted to that. He's been terribly apologetic for it, and I do think it's a genuine apology. And this girl was asleep, and they were in like a helicopter or some ground transport truck or something, and he like faked like he was grabbing her breast.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about this now.
And he's looking at the camera out of the corner of his eye and looking just like up to no good, and he was up to no good. And he's ashamed of himself, and he should be. And so the second thing with Al Franken was a girl who took a picture with him that said that when he put his arm
grabbed
around
her ass, right?
She didn't say grabbed even, and now that is an important distinction, but she said that his hand ended up on her butt, and where does groped and grabbed and all that stuff. And I mean, I watched The View. Don't tell anybody that. I watched The View a couple of days ago. And it's 4 or 5 women or whatever on there, and I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
I can't believe you watched The View, man.
Man,
those cackling fucking broads.
Yeah, but
I've watched maybe 45 seconds of that shit my whole life. I can't handle it.
They're funny, man. Whoopi's funny. They got a couple new girls on there that I think are funnier than some of the old crew that was on there. But anyway, they were pretty much in agreement that, I mean, they weren't all defending him. They were saying they need to know, did he grab her butt? Or did it just end up there in a crowded room? And Whoopi Goldberg's like, look, I've taken thousands of pictures. I've had hundreds of hands on my butt, but I felt like, and I mean, it was more of just, and I had shoulders rubbing against me, and I've had my boob bumped by elbows and whatever. It's like, it's not the same as intentionally grabbing somebody's butt.
Compared to what some of these other motherfuckers are doing, I don't even understand why this is even in the news.
Well, he's in public office. If he was just an actor, then this probably.
But this was back before then, right? When he wasn't.
Yeah, but it's still part of his character, and so I think you do need to. You don't get to reset your character balance when you get a job in office. In fact, it should be quite the opposite.
Yeah, but if you've made changes and you're not doing those type of things anymore, Or is he still doing them and we just don't know about it?
Well, that's the question. And anybody, we would need to, I guess, decide, well, how far back are we willing to hold somebody accountable? And if it's within that time frame, what do they have to do to reconcile?
Did you grab a pussy yesterday? That might not be all right.
Or was it 2 years ago? You know, and I don't think there is a statute of limitations on disgusting behavior, you know. I think there should be a way to reconcile and show that you are on a more mature path in your life now, I suppose. But I mean, and that part of that is the recency of it. Like, well, that was 5 or 10 years ago. Now, if it was last year, most people would agree you're probably not changed yet. But if it was 5 years ago, still maybe not. 10 years ago, yeah. But then there's always like, well, how many times have you done it and gotten away with it since then? That's just the case that we know about. You know, so I don't know. Creepiness is creepiness, and I don't think it ever gets out of you. You know, I think this isn't defending anybody. This is really pointing out that we're changing into a better society right now. But our culture encouraged, used, and there's even women that will call themselves co-creators of some of this culture by using their own body to sell things, knowing that it was only catering to a shitty chauvinism, you know, or sexism, but they still had jobs that took advantage of it, and so there's a lot of guilty people. Men, for sure, are most guilty for being in positions of influence and power and being admired and taking advantage of women when they're in those positions. That's what almost all of these are about, is somebody who, it wasn't like these were even playing fields. These are people who were like leaders and bosses, and you could get fired if you said something. And you know, that's really what's super fucked up about it, especially in a lot of these real high-end CEO instances and corporate instances, is you sign gag orders when you start working for these companies ahead of time before you ever even have a day on the job. You can't talk about
how I jerked off in a plant?
That, yeah, if something like this comes up, it has to be settled out of court, and you have a non-disclosure. I mean, like you can't discuss it. I forget what that's called.
Non-disclosure.
NDA, yeah. NDA. So they're setting up a environment for exploitation, you know, and that I never even heard of that shit until all this came about here in the last few months, and so we're all re-educating ourselves on the pitfalls and where the exploitation is happening. But I mean, it happens right in people's homes for sure. Girls, obviously, we all know girls have been treated more objectively like objects than guys, but that's what I'm saying too. Like, everybody I know has treated a woman like an object. Every guy that I know, probably, and most of my friends, they're all good guys. It's just like, at a time in your past, you weren't thinking about shit like that. You didn't give a fuck. But they are changing maybe now because of the culture.
I would never fucking grab a chick's ass that I was not sure it was okay to do in a picture now. But when I was fucking 22, 23, I was grabbing every ass I could.
That's true. I mean, that is true. And I mean, is it? Do you think more that you grew up, or that times have changed, or both?
It's more probably that I just grew up, man. This shit going on in the media has no effect on my decency as a human being. You know what I mean? I would have that either way. But my point is, though, like with Franken, she's not even necessarily saying he grabbed her ass. Just his hand ended up on her ass. That's nothing, man. Compared to what these other dudes are doing, using their fucking position of power to fucking influence women, to do sexual acts for them, that is so much more worse. Those motherfuckers should be hung. So, like, to even throw something like this in there just seems strange to me. Like, leave this fucking guy alone. If he's not doing it now, he's a politician now. He's trying to make positive changes.
It was 2003.
He put his hand on. Yeah, he put a hand on somebody's ass 15 years ago, dude. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think it's anything to lose your job over. I think that's something that you should be able to give a genuine apology for and
be all right
and move forward.
As long as you're still not doing it.
Well, he's made promises, but you know, politician promises are worth about a fucking piss in the river.
Oh yeah.
But he's no different.
And I don't know anything about his fucking policies or what he's been doing or what he's fighting for.
He's a liberal guy. He's been all over Trump, and it doesn't surprise me if, like, you know, they're trying to even out the Roy Moores of the world right now. That scumbag Republican from Alabama who's got all kinds of kids on his record and shit, you know. And Trump's actively every day defending the fucking guy still, and he's got And they're trying to act like this is going to teeter out against Roy Moore's exploits. Jesus. Yeah. Well, anyway.
See, that's what I'm saying. The more people that you talk about, it's not even that relevant of a story, the easier to let the real bad guys slide by and nobody's paying attention to that.
Exactly. So, yeah, Roy Moore is a scumbag. That's the guy we should be talking about.
Yeah, because every time a new name pops up, somebody forgets about a name from a couple months ago.
Exactly. Yeah. That guy better not get off the hook. That'd be fucking disgusting. The world's watching that one, so hopefully America figures that one out and does the right damn thing. So I don't know shit about Snapchat, but Snapchat is getting a new design. It's about 60 days from now, it looks like, and apparently they're just going to be separating the social from the media. They're going to make an attempt to give you an option. It sounded like through the demonstration on the little video that it was almost like two sides of a screen, like two columns or something. Perhaps, or you just kind of had a choice of more control over what content you see instead of being forced to see.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Snapchat. I was on that thing for about 5 minutes. Bitch sent me a picture of her looking like a duck, and I deleted it.
Yeah, I'm cool on Snapchat. Yeah, that's not my flavor at all. Justin Trudeau, I think they call him a president up there in Canada, right? Or he's the prime minister.
Prime minister.
Yeah, prime minister of Canada. Came out and made a very public apology about how the LGBT community has been treated historically in Canada.
They got you know about the new laws they got there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go to jail for not addressing somebody by their proper pronoun in Canada. They have even real liberal guys up there that were like fighting against these laws. I've heard really good arguments of why it was fucking so crazy and such a bad thing for them to do.
So you're saying if somebody wants to be called she and you call them a he, then
you can fucking go to jail for that shit, especially if it's like in a workplace or something like that.
Well, that would be, that seems awfully crazy for Canada.
Yeah.
But who knows? I would like to see the source of that.
I'll have to do. We'll talk about this another time. I heard a fucking podcast with the cat. I want to say it was Jordan Peterson. I'm not sure though.
We should maybe get a pad and start right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like even right now, so we do some research on it and come back to it.
I'm gonna look into this, but he made a real compelling argument of how putting those kinds of laws in, controlling what people can say, can lead into turning everybody to Nazis or some shit like that. I don't know, remember where it all went now, but it was interesting. Yeah,
it's pretty much taking away your First Amendment. But, I mean, because I should be able to call you donkey if I want to call you that and not go to fucking jail over it.
And it could also be like, if somebody doesn't want to be referred to as like a tranny or something like that, some kind of a more a slur type term.
A tranny is a slur. That's more hate speech, and that's one of the instances where you're not supposed to be able to have freedom of speech. Is hate speech. I mean, that's what the discussion is. But you know, a lot of liberals still think that the idiot should be able to spew their hate speech because it's their right. You know, and did you?
I got into a debate with Jeff a while back when the Charlottesville stuff was going on. And I was like, I don't really know 100% for sure how the fucking law works. My understanding is, you should be able to speak about anything as long as you're not saying kill this guy, kill that guy. Like, that's like the far side of it. And he was like, well, yeah, you should be able to say anything you want. I was like, no, you shouldn't, man.
Well,
even if that is the law and you literally can go out, spew hate, say anything that you want to, literally, then the law should be changed. You should not be able to do that because, like, that's what's going to start fucking civil wars, man. When a small group of people, because, like, these stupid rednecks doing those marches and shit, it's not as many people as people think it is. It's, like, a few thousand people, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
And then they get to say this fucking crazy shit. Like, I don't even remember the story that well, but spewing hate towards a group of people for any particular reason, man, it goes nowhere good. I mean, at least I would think so.
I agree. Yeah, they want people to think they're a bigger group than they are, I'm sure. Part of Steve Bannon's mission.
And the more that those news stories are like that and they're able to say stupid shit and everybody's listening to it, then they might get more people to their fucking cause.
They got people who are willing to do extreme shit, but they don't have the numbers. So here's another Minnesota guy who's in the fucking news for more lewd acts, for God's sakes. Garrison Keillor? Are you kidding me? Everybody's fucking grandpa from A Prairie Home Companion and NPR? What in the world is going on here? So I don't know much about what's going on here, but he's He's getting fired from Minnesota Public Radio for alleged improper behavior. I don't know if you know who Garrison Keillor is, but he's the guy who Prairie Home Companion has this Sunday. I think it's either Saturday or Sunday. It's on, and he takes you through this imaginary world of Lake Wobegon, and he kind of does this live at a theater in Minnesota. He does this live show basically with a band, and they do all these little jingles, and like it's really, if you really look at the production quality of the show, it's a really fucking well done show. Well, hugely successful. Anyway, Garrison Keillor stepped down last year as the host of that, and they got a new younger guy who's a lot of fun to listen to as well, and he's a really talented musician, plays the guitar and sings. I forget his name right now, but anyway, Garrison Keillor held that spot down for 20 years or some shit. I mean, but he's on that level with Charlie Rose too, where I just kind of I had the wool over my eyes. I thought these guys were good guys, just kind of by the way they presented themselves.
Dude, I'm getting real close to crazy conspiracy, dude, where like nothing surprises me anymore, man. I feel like everybody's a fucking pervert except the people I know.
Yeah, well.
And I've even had a couple people that I fucking know
I'm a pervert.
Got in trouble for shit.
I mean, I'm a pervert in the world of legal adult consensual acts.
Yeah, I should clarify that more. Like the bad kind of pervert.
Right. All right, well, here is something about Chipotle.
They're molesting burritos, dude.
He has another turnaround on his plate at Chipotle. But I don't even care what that's about. I'm not even going to open that. Give a fuck about Chipotle. Either you like it or you don't. You either just submit to the fact that it's owned by McDonald's and don't be in denial, or just don't eat there. I mean, what the fuck? Alright, so some teen trying to kill a bed bug causes a $300,000 fire in Cincinnati. 3 adults and 5 children whose apartment were damaged. Jesus. Where do you begin with that? First of all, you're a bummy ass parent if you got bed bugs. Fix that shit. And I understand they're tough. I personally never had those, but I've been in houses with fleas and roaches before, when down in Florida, when almost every house has either fleas or roaches. There's more bed bugs down there too, but for God's sakes, if your kid's sleeping in a bed with bugs, they might do things that aren't normally within their behavioral spectrum.
Yeah, like burn his fucking bed down trying to get rid of him? Jesus, come on, Mom. You see what the fuck's going on here?
Other thing is, why does your kid have access to lighters or matches, or what the fuck did he use to light the fire? Where was Mom at? I'm guessing it's him or Dad. I'm guessing it was in the middle of the night.
There's a whole list of fucked up things right there, man.
Yeah.
All the parental checklist points, those people didn't meet them.
Right.
No way.
No.
If there was a test to be able to have kids, like you had to fucking prove yourself with it, I bet they wouldn't pass in that test.
Right, yeah, you failed. You don't get to have a kid. Go back to China. Well, I say that because they regulate kids over there. I didn't mean that in a racist way. And actually, they lifted that. They don't do that anymore. Or you can have 2 now.
I think it's 2.
Yeah, you should be able to have 1. You know what? I don't think that's a terrible idea for the record. China wasn't shot. That was a bad. That came out wrong. It came out wrong.
Send them back to China.
Yeah, that came out wrong.
So what happens when you don't edit shit?
People, right. Yeah, that one's getting chopped down. People shouldn't, God, it sounds so cold to say that a government should be able to tell you how many babies you can have. But if there isn't some degree of regulation going on there, then, I mean, you can see, I won't name any more countries' names, but you can see in certain places around the world where the shit is fucked up and there's too many people for how many resources they have. And there's no birth control and shit like that. I mean, man, there's got to be... birth control is a huge part of a government's responsibility to make that available and cheap, and some countries don't do a good job of that, but then you at least give the person a choice.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you go down the road to how would you even begin to regulate childbirth. Whoever you give the power to be able to do that, they better be motherfucking saints. Because if you can control childbirth, you can take over the fucking world. If you have the ability to control which people are having children and not, you could wipe out a whole country in one generation just by saying no more kids for you.
I mean, it's pretty much happening. Either that's an inevitability is either that's going to have to happen, or there's going to be mechanisms put in place to artificially control the population. like sicknesses and giant disasters. You'd have maybe
Chem fucking spray shit.
Yeah, or like
poison the fucking population.
Poisoning the whole entire.
Bringing back plague.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers just got Legionnaires at Disneyland. You hear about that shit?
What?
Legionnaires. You know what Legionnaires is?
I've heard it. I heard it's
like
crazy.
It's a water-based disease. It comes from some kind of, I think it's Legionella that lives in water. It's maybe a bacteria, something like that. But it was coming out of the coolers at Disneyland through the water mist, like sprayers that they have. I think
man, just spraying people with it?
Yeah. I don't remember the number of how many people came down with it. But,
my God. There's like someone must have did that on purpose. Is there
no, they just, the water supply that, supplies water to those misters just got contaminated.
Oh my God, what if somebody put like,
and Legionnaires is fucked, man. It'll kill you.
But I'm saying, like, I never thought of those misters for like chemical warfare shit or something, you know?
Oh yeah, let's take out everybody at Disneyland right now. Drop some fucking anthrax in that fucking thing.
Yeah. Something that
or anything that'll bond to water and aerosolize.
Or maybe it takes like 2 hours. And listen, we're not. Hey, government, we're not
playing. Damn, man, we're giving the bad ideas.
This is like a movie. Like I can see Harrison Ford in this movie or something.
Send your Legionnaire bomb to China.
We gotta find him. He's gonna get every amusement park in the world at the same time.
Right.
I'm not. Choose like the hottest day of the year where everybody's staying under the mist. And then the Rock comes in and saves the fucking day.
You want to start talking about how to get rid of a lot of people that aren't necessarily, this is fucked up to say, but people you don't necessarily need on the planet? You start wiping out Disneylands, man. You're getting a lot of overweight people with more money than they know what to do with. Kids that get away with fucking anything they want to.
I don't subscribe to that idea. Disney
I don't condone it. But
send my free passes to 1175.
If you were working for the government, I could see people possibly going down that line of thinking.
Well, that was just a joke, obviously, but the point of that is that someone's going to make a decision.
Isn't Disneyland like the epitome of what people that hate our country hate?
No, man. Have you ever been to Disney World?
I'm saying people who aren't from America, like terrorists that hate us. They're like, fuck Americans in their Disneyland.
Maybe, but they hate anything that's indulgent and Western and like
sure.
entertaining, really. You
blow up Minnie Mouse, that'll make a fucking point.
But that is kind of the crescendo of American materialism. I mean, and the princess culture and that whole thing. So I get that. But so if you're saying from their perspective, what would they nuke? Maybe, yeah. I mean that would be fucking devastating. That might be some terrorist perspective.
It'd be devastating.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it fits the profile of the places they seem to attack, where there's just a bunch of
we should stop talking about that. We're going to give people bad ideas.
No, I mean, this is like, people have been talking about this since the Vegas shooting, especially. Real crazy, these condensed areas where people are vulnerable, and it fucking sucks, and they want to take away those things from our lives, But
make you scared to go out?
The generalizations that there's just a bunch of brats and fat people at Disney World is not true.
Yeah, no.
There are people with a little extra money, and that might be the easiest generalization that's true about everybody there. But people say, families literally say for years to go to fucking Disney World. It's like a once or twice in a kid's lifetime, in a childhood. Kind of experience, and then you get back there with your kid once or twice.
You might hear me say some extreme shit on here from time to time. I'm just pushing the farthest boundary I can to be comedic, people.
Well, here's and people might be wondering, well, why am I defending it? I lived in Florida for a long time. I've been to Disney World. My cousin worked for Disney he still works for him for 20-some years, and they got a lot of bad publicity. They've done some shitty stuff. They've treated gay people poorly. They've treated Jewish people poorly. In fact, Disney himself, I want to say, was anti-Semitic. But
old Walt?
Yeah, but
son of a bitch, Walt.
There's still a lot of good things that have come from Disney World. They've helped a ton of fucking people and kids and provided a lot of jobs, and it's a fun place to be.
They schooled President Trump on Native American culture, Pocahontas.
Right.
Don't forget that, man.
Trump. God, you're such a fucking blazing idiot. God damn it, don't get me started.
Hey, man, you gotta learn about culture somewhere, I guess.
I can just feel like the second I say his name, my blood pressure goes up. So Amazon, oh my God, Amazon says their Cyber Monday topped even their Prime Day, which you know what Prime Day is?
No.
I think it's in July. It's supposed to be it's like the other end of the trend.
Is that when everybody gets free shipping for a day or something?
They do a lot of shit on Prime Day. It's if you're a Prime member, then you get a lot more shit deals.
Prime is dope.
I signed up for Amazon Prime last week.
I use my boy's Prime.
Yeah, well, I got one on too if you need it. But yeah, it's I mean, even shit, to give them a shout out, like I couldn't believe how many little things were coming when I scrolled down my just for $10 a month what you get is like.
How much money did you say that fucking guy made on Black Friday?
Jeff Bezos. First of all, he made 2.3 or 2.4 billion dollars on Black Friday.
What?
Billion with a B.
Are you fucking kidding me?
2.4 billion. Okay, so he's made 25 billion this year, and I'm estimating these. I could be off by like a half or a billion, but it's either 24 or 25 billion he made this year. And this is as far as I remember learning. This isn't Amazon. This is him. This is the money he's made this year, and he became the first person, only the second person ever, the first person since Bill Gates, at least in America, to have registered $100 billion. They just proclaimed that like a few days ago. And
everything's going digital.
He's showing no signs of stopping that motherfucker. I'd be interested to see what Jeff Bezos thinks about Bitcoin, see if he's invested in it.
I'm sure he would love it. He already wants everybody to do everything online already.
But you can do all that online without Bitcoining.
I feel like there'd be some way that it would benefit him.
Well, here's what we're really asking is Bitcoin is looking to get rid of the banking system.
Yeah.
And while that does offer some benefits, it's really the corruption in the banking system that needs to go, not the banking system. The banking system is a staple of our entire fucking existence as a civilization. I mean, all human beings across the fucking globe need a solid banking system to have a prosperous society. And if that all of a sudden falls in the hands of a few, where it's consolidated like that, or everybody went to Bitcoin, where you just got rid of all these balancing factors of the banking world, which again it falls out of balance once in a while because of a corrupt few at the top of it, but in general there's a lot of honest hardworking people in the banking system that have offered a vital fucking service to us for a long ass time. And it's pretty alarming to me to think of that just all of a sudden jumping onto your computer screen and not having a person to go down and shake a hand from. You know, I mean, I don't know. To me, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the banking system to really make a wise assessment of it, but
at the same
I just
time,
know the conspiracy theory view of it, that like the banks are crooked, they're in league with all the bad parts of the government and military, and fuck, I don't know, man.
But that's, again, the top few people, I don't doubt that, are in that corrupt state, but that doesn't discount
but how much of it are they controlling?
There's the other 96% of the people who work for Wells Fargo, I mean, the other 99.6% of people that work for Wells Fargo are not corrupt. You know,
yeah, but they're just stuck in a system that they can't do anything to change. So I mean, what does it matter?
But they're still offering a service to us that we can rely on, that we've built our lives on. You know, our families, our lives, borrowed money for banking. Is Bitcoin going to borrow us money to loan to get a home?
Who the fuck knows?
You know, I don't think they are. They're not going to loan me money to go get a car. So if because of some fascination with this online money somehow shuts down a bunch of banks that would normally provide all these services, all these jobs, and this anchor, basically this foundation for our financial system, and then like what happens? We don't.
Well, I don't really know. I don't think either one of us knows enough about it. But to even begin to do a full-scale conversion into something like that, I would feel like the banks would have to be part of it as well, at least some of them. Because you're going to have some. It can't just be the government or just a few people, like you're saying, controlling the whole system online. There's going to have to be, you know, a group of companies or something like that are all controlling the way the market works and something like that. So it would just be, Wells Fargo doesn't deal with cash anymore. They don't deal with real money. Now they deal with Bitcoin, and they still can give you loans.
I'm still missing like what the benefit of Bitcoin is.
Yeah, me too. I have no idea, man.
My money goes if I want to buy a coconut in Venezuela online right now, I can do it in 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah, and especially now, you don't even need actual money or a card. You can just pull your phone out and scan it a lot of places. It's the same thing as you can do with Bitcoin, so what's the fucking difference?
Right. It's all going to be connected through PayPal. PayPal is basically already done what Bitcoin wants to do, but they haven't asked you to give them your money necessarily. I mean, you can place your money in there, you can move it all around. It's not like some cryptic weird thing, and you know who owns it, and they're, you know, like they've been accepted by all these institutions, and they're basically like another Visa or MasterCard or some shit. Now maybe Bitcoin gets to that point. Like on Bovada.com, when I go on there, They're offering bonuses right now on my betting website. They're offering bonuses if you use Bitcoins to make your deposit, then they give you extra or some shit. And I don't understand why that is.
There's got to be. We definitely have to do some research on this one.
It's
need to write that down.
It's a Ponzi scheme. I don't have any paper though.
I don't.
Yeah,
there's definitely got to be something.
Well,
there has to be advantages to it that are making people feel like it's the way to go.
It's the investment in it is because there's a profit in it is why everybody's dumping their money into it right now. But the shit's gonna fucking vanish.
Yeah, what happens when it crashes?
Yeah.
And then
people aren't even using it.
You lose fucking 75% of your money, and you're like, well, what the fuck do I do now?
Right. If people were all worked up like, oh man, I'm using Bitcoin to buy all this stuff. It's so easy, and like I can buy stuff I could never buy before, or something like that, then it would start to have a value to me where it's like, oh, they're providing a service that we weren't familiar with or something, you know. But people are fascinated with it, A, because it's mysterious, because it's encrypted, and it has association with the dark web.
That might be half of it. It's just new.
It's got a super aggressive growth rate too. So a few people are making money on it now. I ask you, and I've never met a single person who has cashed out their Bitcoin money. What happens? Do you really get your if you put in somebody? Please tell me. Oh, and by the way, if you guys want to send, or at least for the time being, if you guys want to send, we don't have a Gmail set up yet, but Purple Super Bowl at Gmail. If you want to respond to anything you've heard on this particular episode, we'll put. Because I'm a Vikings fan, they're going Super Bowl, oh boy. But
yeah, somebody who's smart and knows the pros and cons to Bitcoin, and you can phrase it in like a paragraph one way and then the next way. That'd be the easiest way. We'll do some research too.
Alright, let's see here if we got anything interesting after that.
Oh, dude, you want to see this fucking picture? Look at that shit. Is that real?
That looks gross. That looks like Schmeagol and Jolene had a baby.
We're looking at this picture on E-Bombs World. It's a woman undergoes 50 operations to look like Angelina Jolie. No idea if it's real or not, but if it is, oh man, look that shit up, y'all.
Yeah.
She does. She looks like Schmeagol fucked a possum or something. It's real fucked up looking.
And then went to Mac and got a makeup job.
You know what it is? It's a fucked up Halloween mask of somebody trying to look like Angelina Jolie with like a cheap Halloween mask.
I don't know. I mean,
I'll sit on the shitter and flip through that shit. And
Angelina Jolie has had common surgeries like eye bone enhancements or cheekbone enhancements and collagen lip implants and shit like that. And so I think when people take those measures, they end up kind of just generally looking like each other a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense. That didn't come out very smoothly.
Yeah, if you want to make a generalization about a group of people, motherfuckers with all that plastic surgery in their face, you all look the same. Look like fucking mannequins, man. Stop doing that shit.
Look weird.
Just grow old gracefully.
Recognize daily cause the internet love us. Lake Street store, finna interject substance.